Well. Guys really need to start referring to me as the Oracle, because I called this shit in my last video where I said this, that more losses come Liverpool's way. Chelsea beat them over the weekend, and obviously if you have eyes, if you've just been living this weekend, you would have known that Chelsea played Liverpool at Stamford Bridge, and oh my goodness, it was the most beautiful game of football I've ever had the pleasure of watching. Because guess what, Liverpool lost again. I'm telling you, these guys are washed. They're washed. The black magic ran out. I said this last time, bro. The black magic ran out. But this week, it really showed that these man, they got outclassed by Chelsea completely. And they're getting some serious karma back for all of the late goals that they've scored throughout the course of this season. Because there's 2 games in a row in the Premier League where they've lost in literally the last minute. And I'm not complaining at all, baby, because this is what we needed, man. We needed Liverpool to start dropping points. And they've started to drop points frequently. They're dropping points as frequently as Florian Wirtz drops stinkers in the Premier League. This guy stinks. Somebody get him out of Liverpool now. Get him on a plane back to Germany ASAP. But let's talk about the actual game. In the 14th minute, we had Van Dijk doing his best Ice Spice impression, twerking in front of Kaisedo to try to distract him from the shot he was about to take. But as we all know, that shit did not work, and Kaisedo shot the ball at about a Mach 4 speed into the top corner. What a beautiful goal, by the way. And I can't lie, at this point, I started to believe. I had a weird lingering feeling before the game that Liverpool was somehow going to lose at Stamford Bridge, because I don't know, Chelsea always seemed to do quite well against them, especially at Stamford Bridge. So I had this weird feeling in my head that it was going to happen again. And after this goal went in and what was happening prior to this goal in the match, I really started to believe. I mean, everything was working in Chelsea's favour this game. They had Alejandro Garnacho actually performing with that shit blonde hair. Genuinely, he actually looked dangerous every time he got the ball. And Connor Bradley, yeah, this guy's career as a right back is on strings, because the fact that he's made Garnacho look like a competent winger really tells how shit he is. Speaking of Garnacho, in the 38th minute, Chelsea had that, I like this new corner routine they do, you know, where they look, where like 3 of them make a triangle and they play around a bit, and he had that chance, hits the post, by the way. That goal would have been incredible as well. But like I said, I've never seen Garnacho look this dangerous before in about 3 years. But the fact that it was against Liverpool just makes it so much better. I can't lie, this guy Garnacho was really causing problems. He had penalty shouts, yeah. I can't lie, he had the whole of that right side of Liverpool's defense twerking for him. Bradley, Szoboszlai, both of them were struggling to deal with this guy. Now, I don't know if that's a sign to show how bad Liverpool's defense is, or if Garnacho just turned into prime Ronaldinho before the game, or for the game rather. This guy, I'm telling you, bro, he was moving like Mudryk. Blonde hair, they're both taking PEDs as well. Now, I guarantee Garnacho's gonna get popped for PEDs very, very soon.
Ridiculous.
It makes
That's
sense now why he's got blonde hair. Mudryk is his inspiration, so he's obviously gonna follow the same characteristics and same traits that Mudryk embodied whilst he was at Chelsea. But as a defense, how can you look at yourself and be proud of yourself that you were twerking for a guy who got rejected by Ruben Amorim, who's the manager that took Man United to 16th in the Premier League, bro? If you're a defender and you're getting beat by Garnacho, you gotta really look at yourself in the mirror and question if the game is for you. Then in the 63rd minute, Liverpool, the stroke of luck strikes again. They get a lucky goal. Yes, I'm a hater. Call me whatever you want. I'm hating right now. That was a lucky goal. You cannot convince me that Isak tried to flick it onto Gakpo like that, because he didn't even check his shoulder to see if Gakpo was there. You can't even say, but he would have known Gakpo was there already. No, he did not mean to do that. He tried to take it down, and it just so happened that it ended up going right into the path of Cody Gakpo. But Liverpool leveled. But unlike the Crystal Palace game, I wasn't really swearing like that, because Chelsea looked the better team the whole game. So even when Liverpool scored, I wasn't really too worried. I did think that the worst that would happen for Chelsea was that they would draw. I didn't really think Liverpool were going to go on to get the win. And obviously, as we all know, I was correct yet again. I knew the game was won for Chelsea when I saw the substitutions that were being made. Liverpool were making very defensive substitutions, bringing on players like Endo. Whereas Chelsea, which is opposite to previous weeks actually, were making substitutions that were showing and telling that they were going for the win. And I feel like the mental aspect of substitution towards the rest of the players of the pitch is such an underrated sort of thing that managers don't really realize the effects of. If you're a team and you're drawing 1-1, if your manager brings on a defensive player, that is gonna send a message to you. Even if he doesn't directly tell you, it's gonna send a message that, oh, okay, we're playing for the draw here, we're happy for the 1 point, and you're not really gonna try to attack the game the way you maybe would have had maybe an attacking player come on. So with that, I think Arne Slot did chicken out. I think he saw that Chelsea were outplaying them. He bought an Endo, and that sent a message to the rest of the Liverpool squad that, hey, we will be happy to get out of here with 1 point. Whereas Maresca, which is where I can definitely give him his credit, bringing on Estêvão so late into the game definitely gave the message to the Chelsea players that, yo, we're going all out for the win. The handbrake is fully off. And I think bringing on a player like Estêvão is perfect for these kind of situations. I do think he's more than good enough to start. I think he's way better than Pedro Neto. To be honest, I don't really know how Pedro Neto is even still starting. I guess you could say, you know, Premier League experience in these big games. But as a player, Estêvão is much better than Pedro Neto. But like I was saying, bringing on Estêvão was the perfect decision because he is a player that wants to create, wants to get the ball, wants to run at defenders and cause havoc for the opposition's defense. And that's what he did. From the second he came on, he looked dangerous. And he immediately started causing havoc. In the 91st minute, he whips in that delicious cross to Enzo Fernandez, who just hits the post. Enzo Fernandez, by the way, was immense this game. Him and Kaisedo don't stop running. Win every second ball. Play such nice, elegant football between them. And I think they're really that driving force in that Chelsea team. But I know Estêvão had another chance where he cut in on his left foot and forced a save from the Liverpool keeper, who I'm not even going to try to say his name. But it was things like that that really started to show me that, yo, Chelsea, they're not doing what they did against Man United. They're not chickening out. They're really trying to go for the win. Against the champions as well, you have to hold your hands up and say fair play. But then it came. The greatest moment I've ever witnessed in my life. Enzo Fernandez slips the ball into Cucurella. I know I said I hate Cucurella, but right now I love him, bro. He can diss England as many times as he wants. He can sing as many songs as he wants at the World Cup. I don't care. As long as this means something for the title race in the future. Because he plays a delicious cross into the box. And guess who's there waiting? The wonder kid Estêvão. I can't lie, the way I started celebrating, you would have thought I've been a Chelsea fan my whole life, bro. I was screaming, I was jumping up and down. I don't think I've ever been that happy to see Chelsea score in my entire life. But on a serious note, I think these last 3 results have really started to show a lot of the cracks in Liverpool's armour and a lot of the problems that are at the club right now. Or not really at the club, but just within the team and the way the squad has been built. I think they definitely should have gone in for a defender rather than signing Isak. Personally, I don't think Isak has looked good at all whatsoever for Liverpool so far. And I think signing a defender that could actually defend would have helped them a lot because somehow they managed to sign 2 defenders that have the defensive capabilities of a 3-year-old. And Frimpong ain't even starting, bro. He's not even starting. How can you spend like 40 million on
There's no way out of this one.
6 games into the season? Everyone was grading this Liverpool transfer window as an A-star. So was I. I literally made a whole video saying that I think Liverpool, like jokingly saying Liverpool's ruining football because they're getting all the fucking Avengers at their team. But they haven't looked that good. They've looked worse than they have last season. And honestly speaking, I think it's a combination of so many different things. I think the players have signed are low-key wrong. I think the gelling of the squad has not happened yet. And I also think that it could possibly be partly because the Jurgen Klopp muscle memory is wearing off. I think because last season they had basically the same squad they did with Klopp, a lot of the Klopp philosophy was definitely still around the club. And they were definitely sort of subconsciously playing in the Klopp way. Whereas now, Arne Slot, who is a fraud by the way, this guy's like that Southampton fucking dancing fan mate when he's got a budget. He is a fraud. How can you spend 500 M's and look worse and make your team worse? How is that possible? But with that said, I think him bringing in actual players that only know the Arne Slot way into Liverpool and don't know anything about Klopp or the way they played before, I think it's really starting to show. And I think the Liverpool team chemistry just ain't there like it used to be. And as an Arsenal fan, I'm loving it because we're top of the league. How can I complain? But now my analysis is over and it's straight to hating. Van Dijk, put your body on the line, man. I don't want to see this guy compared to any top centre backs. Ramos, Terry, Maldini, whatever. I'm sorry, they wouldn't have started turning into prime Ice Spice twerking in front of the opposition, bro. And I've seen it way too many times. This guy can only rely on his aura. And when that doesn't work, he has no clue what to do. How, as a so-called best defender of all time, how can you not think to just close Caicedo down or at least put a bit of pressure on him? This guy is literally at the edge of the box and they let him have a free shot. But Wirtz, my dog, you need to go, bro. 130 M's and Curtis Jones is starting over you. Wrap it up. Go back to Germany. You know, I don't even have time to think about this guy no more. That's how much of a waste of time he is on the Premier League. Every Premier League fan that has had to bear witness to this guy's performances should be fucking compensated for by the government. Not even by the government, by Liverpool FC for signing this guy because he has done jack shit. Isak, bro, this guy, let's just say Newcastle won, bro, because they've got Voltamado who's actually bagging, and Isak playing like a fucking... Bro, he was at Stamford Bridge in 2 ways, you know. He was that steward. He was not on the pitch, bro. That was the clone. I think him and the steward might have swapped places, bro, because that was not Isak on the pitch. Maybe he was stewarding. He had to look at the fans, had to watch. He couldn't really miss this shift, so he just swapped with the other Isak. So this guy really needs to sort himself out, bro, because Ekitike, I feel for him, because he's performed so well this season, and he's had his starting lineup place robbed of him. Connor Bradley, like I said earlier, bro, this guy, I used to think he was a cold right back. I used to think, yo, when Trent leaves, this guy's gonna come in, take over the reins, and boss it. This guy's got Szoboszlai starting over him at right back. Szoboszlai, my dog, this guy's a midfielder. Frimpong as well. If you're paying 50 mil or 40 mil for a right back and your centre mid is starting right back, if I'm Frimpong, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm crying every day, bro. I'm terminating my own contract, bro. If I was Frimpong, I'd pay any money just to terminate my own contract, because that is actually embarrassing. Same for Kerkez, bro. Poor old Robertson thought he could fucking manage his minutes a little bit more. He's starting every game, mate. He's starting every game because Kerkez doesn't know how to defend. How can you be a left back and not know how to defend? But the greatest hate that I'm going to spew right now, Salah, this guy needs to hang up the boots, go to Saudi. This guy stinks. He is terrible. I don't know. I've never seen Salah play this badly in my whole life, but I'm not complaining, bro. I'm happy. I'm jumping for joy. I'm elated, and I hope that it continues like this for the rest of the season. But anyway, folks, that's all I have time for today. It felt like a bit of a longer video, so yeah, might be a bit of a longer video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Share the video. If you disagree with me, let me know why you disagree with me in the comments. I feel like this video was a bit different. I added maybe a bit more analytical stuff instead of just hating, which, I don't know, you know, I've got to show my ball knowledge sometimes, and that I do actually know what I'm talking about, and I'm not just a hateful young man. But yeah, thank you guys for 410 subscribers. I mean, literally the last video I posted, I was on, I think, 401, and now I'm on 410. So yeah, we're climbing up there, man. I love you guys all. Take care and peace.